Juan Manuel Marquez had a back and forth recently that happened with Mauricio Suleiman, and the situation happened because Marquez was discussing whether the privileges around Canelo and the WBC made sense with Mauricio Suleiman and the things they had going on over the last few years or even the last decade. And Marquez said when a fighter decides who he fights, sports justice is broken. That affects those who have worked to earn their opportunity in the ring. There are many boxers who wait for a legitimate chance and do not receive it because Canelo chooses his opponents. And Mauricio Suleiman said, responding to him, he was like, "Don't be so envious, Juan Manuel. You talk as if you don't see Canelo's trajectory. The facts speak for themselves. He has been a world champion for 14 years. He has beaten 21 champions, and the regulations have always been respected. When he didn't like with Golovkin, the title was taken away. There are no favoritisms. There are facts." He's talking about when Canelo had the situation with Golovkin. The title was taken away from him after that situation. But he wasn't his feet wasn't held to the fire the same way that David Benavidez was. People was like, "Oh, Benavidez, he mixed weight or he had substance abuse, so he can't have an opportunity for the belt. He should have never been in that situation in the first place." You had every fan of Canelo that walked around and supporter that walked around and act like because Benavidez had a situation that it was his fault as far as the fight not being able to happen. And that's just not the case. You had other guys that had situations like that, and they still got in the ring with Canelo. Billy Joe Saunders had a situation like that. So that's privilege. And that's what Marquez is talking about. And it's sad that you got Mexicans fighting over each other because another one who's fought at the highest level is being critiqued by a civilian in Suleiman because of his position in boxing. He's not a Marquez in the ring, so I don't know why he is able to sit up here and feel like his name holds weight over what Marquez does. But when you put people's name in that type of light, that's what happens. It's like I'm not even gonna say that, but that's what happens. But he said it's not envy, it's defending boxing. This was Marquez said responding to Suleiman. It's not envy, it's defending boxing. I respect Canelo as a boxer. I know what he has achieved, but I criticize the way certain privileges are handled. Boxing has to be fair for everyone, not just for the figures. He's saying that boxing has gotten to a point where it's about the money. And this is a Mexican fighter who's from Mexico talking about another Mexican fighter and an organization that's in Mexico. So this has nothing to do with America in this situation. This is a Mexican topic, and this is Mexican on Mexican at this point. And he's questioning everything. It has nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather, what he did in the past. And this is what I've said before. It has nothing to do with not liking Canelo or anything. This is when certain things like what Marquez was pointing out, this is when boxing went to another direction. And he's saying, he's pointing out now because he's like, I don't want to see this happen again. He's not trying to bring it up as far as, oh, this is the time to bring it up. No, he just don't want to see it again. This is what hurt boxing in his eyes, and he don't want to see it again. That's it. I don't know why that's so hard to understand. If somebody says, hey man, this was wrong, we shouldn't see this in boxing again, it hurt boxing, now we're trying to get away from that. If you're trying to get away from that type of stuff and it hurt boxing, what's wrong with Marquez pointing that out? But this is the problem in boxing though. They want the legends to be involved and blah, blah, blah. But then when you have a guy in an organization feels like his name holds more weight, or they're saying guys is jealous about accomplishments and everything else, you can't even critique a sport that you was in before Canelo. Marquez was boxing before Canelo was. So if he can't critique the sport and criticize Mexican boxing, and then you had other guys that was going at Marquez about his legacy and resume and what he ain't done in boxing, and he's not even he shouldn't even be talking about Canelo. Like, they're disrespecting Marquez, who's a legend in Mexico, who at this point, if you're Mexican, you don't want to disrespect him, because it's not that too many guys who've done more than what he's done. But yeah, they're going after him because he told the truth. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.